Up on what you told me might have been your busiest day of this entire year so far, and a big part of it, the command.
There are surprise teams. Now, I don't know whether the Giants or Cowboys are capable of rising up, but I do know that there hasn't been a repeat winner of the NFC East in over 20 years. And so this division has been highly unpredictable, unstable, and all these teams we look at today, it all seems so logical, and then the season starts, and then injuries happen, and then momentum swings, and things change. So I would never say that a division is shaping up to be two teams when the Giants and Cowboys, I think, are sneaky good.
All right, fair enough. We'll come back to that part of it a little later. Let's get to one that I really didn't think was 2 years. Okay, and so that means two of the three big hold-ins have been settled. The Micah Parsons one, we're still waiting for anything. He continues to hold in there. I want you to hear from Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. He was asked yesterday about Parsons' absence with the Eagles game looming. Remember, they play next Thursday.
No, I've got confidence. I've told y'all that way back when. And I'm just going off of experience, honestly. No different than mine, so I've got confidence in that. Just hoping, which I know he is, he's ready to play.
Has this whole thing been a distraction for the team as you prepare?
I wouldn't say so. As I alluded to before, I mean, there's been a case of something similar to this the last 3 years, I believe. So people can take it however they want. I think it's kind of part of the way guys think and see things around here.
So we heard Brian Schottenheimer say last week he has confidence that Micah Parsons will be on the field for the Eagles game. You just heard Dak say he feels the same way and that he compares the situation to his own experience. Schefter, you've been telling me all along this feels different than it did with Dak.
Okay, let me say this. I want to give you the good news and the bad news. The good news is that we heard a lot of strong language surrounding Trey Hendrickson and Terry McLaurin about how far apart the sides were, how nobody was willing to budge, how this could go on. And then lo and behold, less than 2 weeks before the opener, both players remarkably get deals done. That brings us to Micah Parsons. Here's a player who, again, sounds like he doesn't want to be in Dallas. He's issued the public trade request. The Dallas Cowboys have had zero negotiations with him since they felt like they had an agreement with him that he didn't follow through on. All we've heard is how bad it is, and I think it is bad. I've even heard that this situation is considered to be Jerry Jones' Waterloo. He doesn't want to lose it. But I would say this, we've seen these other sides come through and get deals done. This one, again, feels a little bit different. Now, it looked like McLaurin and Hendrickson were hopeless, and lo and behold, they get deals done. And the Dallas Cowboys open their season a week from Thursday night. And Micah Parsons still has a tight back, and he still hasn't practiced. And we still don't know whether he's going to play. And this is Jerry Jones' Waterloo. So there are a lot of elements at play that go against a deal, that tell you it's not good, that tell you in time it doesn't look like Micah may be resigning there. But the hope is, if Trey Hendrickson could get a deal done in Cincinnati, if Terry McLaurin could get a deal done in Washington, then there has to be a way for the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons to bridge their differences somehow, as vast as they are, and get a deal done.
The Battle of Waterloo ended the Napoleonic Wars once upon a time. It was the end of Napoleon. Will they be the end of Jerry Jones or Micah Parsons or one? You said to me yesterday, find a way to make both sides happy. In this case, I'm not sure it works because Jerry thinks they had a deal and he feels wronged. And if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm not taking 1 cent less than TJ Watt got.
2 years, $84 million. Both sides win, both sides lose. $42 million a year, Greeny, highest paid non-quarterback in the league. 2-year deal, so Jerry Jones doesn't have these massive guarantees, and now Micah Parsons gets back out to the market as soon as 2 years. So to me, not ideal for either side, but it puts a Band-Aid on it. One other thing, Greeny, the expression, it's getting late early. If the four of us were in Kevin Patullo's office right now, the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, I promise you on his whiteboard is test the conditioning of number 11, meaning if Micah Parsons does play, I promise you they will go no huddle and see what kind of shape he's in.
Well, before we even get to that, D-Wood, let me ask you the question this way. We are 9 days away from the opener. He has a tight back for whatever that's worth, but he hasn't been in pads. He has not gone through an actual football practice this entire training camp. Can he physically play an NFL game in 9 days?
I think it would be irresponsible for the Dallas Cowboys to put him out there, to be honest with you. I think if you're truly trying to protect the player and do what's in the best interest of the player, you don't play him week one. We are literally 9 days away. One thing you got to do, and Mike T, you've seen this before, you have to be in football shape. The only way to be in football shape is by doing football things, being in pads, being in practice, building up those calluses within your body. We saw with Darrelle Revis. He came back from the holdout. Okay, he went out there, and what's the first thing that happened? He pulled a hamstring.
Yeah.
Do you really? It's not about one game. It's about 17 games for the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys, I think, open with 2 division games, right? After the Eagles, they have the Giants
at home.
So we'll see. It is getting late very, very early. Coming up, Rodgers' response.
53 by 4 p.m. Eastern today. The biggest announcement that has taken over a lot of our social media timelines, of course, came from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce in the last hour or so. We've reacted in the hallways of ESPN.
Yes, we have.
We'll ask others to do so as well.
Yeah, everybody getting engaged but me, but happy for Trav and Taylor. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin and Trey Hendrickson's contract disputes were resolved within the last 24 hours, but the drama in Dallas with Micah Parsons is still going strong. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is the latest to weigh in.
No, I've got confidence. I've told y'all that way back when. And I'm just going off of experience, honestly. No different than mine. So I've got confidence in that. Just hoping, which I know he is, he's ready to play.
Has this whole thing been a distraction for the team as you prepare?
I wouldn't say so. As I alluded to before, I mean, there's been a case of something similar to this the last 3 years, I believe. So people can take it however they want. I think it's kind of part of the way guys think and see things around here.
All right, we're joined now by NFL insider Dan Graziano and NFL analyst Andrew Hawkins. Dan, I'm going to start with you. So Dak, he's downplaying his concern with the Parsons situation. What have you heard about how the Cowboys are viewing things?
Yeah, nothing good, Christine. This is a game of chicken right now, and with all due respect to Dak, it is a little different from his situation. This time last year, Dak Prescott was under contract for 1 more year, didn't have an extension, but he was practicing. The two sides were talking, and there had never been anything like what we've seen in terms of the back and forth between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones on this issue this offseason. This has gotten to a point where one side is going to have to give in and say to the other, okay, let's get this done, or else Micah Parsons is going to have a decision to make. 9 days from now, they play the Eagles. Does he play if he doesn't have a contract extension? Does he sit out? If he sits out, how long is he willing to sit out? He's giving up $1.18 million for every game that he skips, and I think part of what the Cowboys are counting on here, Christine, is that he's not going to ultimately be willing to do that.
So my brain goes to years past, right? We saw guys like Nick Bosa. Obviously, he played in week 1 when he was holding out. Khalil Mack played in week 1 when he was holding out. Those are 2 big defensive stars. And so I ask you now, Hawk, how confident are you that Parsons does play week 1 against the Eagles?
I'm actually a lot less confident than Dak Prescott is. And yes, I understand that we've seen kind of a precedent for this with the Cowboys over the last few years, but absent a contract, I just don't feel confident because, to Graz's point, this seems like a higher tier of messy as far as the contract is concerned. Besides the fact that it's a little dangerous for him just to jump into an NFL game without any preseason or camp action, I would say like the back and forth and Jerry Jones feeling like he had a contract in place, although he was talking to the player. And now there's like the question of, is this ethical? Is it not? Because an owner or a GM is supposed to negotiate with an agent. It just seems like there's a lot more questions than answers. And for that reason, absent a contract, I actually don't have a lot of confidence that he's going to suit up in week 1.
Yeah, it is super messy. He's putting stuff in his Instagram bio. He's saying things on X. So it has been a lot of drama. But if he's not on the team at the start of the season, that does open a roster spot for somebody else. And the roster cut down deadline, it's today, or it's at 4 p.m. Eastern today. The Browns, they did something to resolve their crowded quarterback room.